Hey everybody, Kelley Engineer here, and welcome to episode 8 of Staged Learning. In between episodes, I was quite busy, and we'll get into everything that I did. First, I want to go over that Avid Gamer 5918 and Orange Rocks brought it to my attention that the portable tanks from Thermal are not locked behind a stage. The same thing with the mechanism fluid tanks. So the portable tanks by default hold 20 buckets. The basic fluid tanks hold 14 buckets. I said at the end of the last episode I was going to use the small tanks from Magneticraft, which hold 32 buckets. There's just one problem with the small tanks, and that is, let's open up this inventory. I can't transport them. So yeah, with a chest transporter, I can't pick up the small tank. I could probably use mechanism cardboard boxes. Unfortunately, cardboard boxes are not unlocked for me. So if I decide to break this small tank, like so, and place it back down, I have lost all of the liquid that was inside there. It doesn't save its inventory. So that is definitely not the way to go. And the portable tanks definitely don't have that problem. I can break them all I want. And luckily, they hold 20 buckets by default, and I can upgrade them with a hardened upgrade kit. One more thing that is not locked behind a stage. So Avid Gamer 5918 is the creator of this pack, and he fed me a whole bunch of useful tips and tricks to get past this little roadblock. That being said, I am not going to be using the portable tanks. I'm not going to be using the mechanism tanks. I have something a little bigger planned for later in the episode, but I also moved my solar tower, and it is now in the center of the little upstairs area, this upstairs fort area that I have, and all of the heat is going to be funneled down below here where I have completed, well, I guess completed is a very, very weak word, but yeah, I have hollowed out this entire area, and it's more than enough space to put a whole bunch of machines, transfer a lot of power, and because immersive engineering is next, hopefully I can like fit some arc furnaces in there, who knows. But up in this corner right here, I have moved all of my Yaba barrels and my storage drawers, as well as put down my nether portal, and I still need to light that. I completely forgot about it. But yeah, all of that's going to be done either during the filming of this episode or in between episodes, because I have a lot of stuff that I need to move. But yeah, I have two refineries down there, and in those refineries I'm going to be putting heavy oil and light oil. And but first we need to get some more hot crude going in there, because my machine over here is not it's not getting any heat to it. It's not at that 665 or 670 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm not making any more hot crude, so I need to rectify that first. We're going to move all of this down there. We're going to hook the heat back up, and then once we are making more hot crude, we're going to make a place to store all of it. Another thing I did between episodes was I upgraded my armor. So looking at my helmet, I have blast resistance, I have projectile resistance, I have regular resistance, and fire resistance, all level 8 on my primary armor here. And then I still look like the way that I want to look because of the cosmetic armor. I also added powerful onto this, or onto my chest plate, added the traveler's belt storage onto my leggings, and I added frosty onto my boots. And the frosty onto my boots has honestly kind of proved a hindrance to me. Whenever I'm walking, it's basically frost walker. So yeah, I have that on there, and I'm not really happy with it. The traveler's belt storage means I have a secondary storage, and I can even throw my satchel in there, so I have storage inside storage. But yeah, this is where I'm keeping my my hammer, my excavator, my hatchet, all of my stuff that I really need more often than not, and then the lesser needed stuff is going to remain in my satchel. I also have the what is it called? Oh, I'm sorry. The traveler's belt storage means I have an extra hot bar. So if I press J, you see that my hot bar just disappeared. I can have 2 hot bars now. And then the knapsack is on my chest plate, and the knapsack allows me to access this secondary storage. So yeah, I apologize for that. But yeah, I have added those upgrades, and now that I'm using cosmetic armor, I was debating whether or not to upgrade my armor using alumite. I can make alumite, and I don't even know what Cam Dai Bay and Dunan's transport is. I'm debating whether or not to upgrade my armor because this has a much better defense rating, better than the 13 I'm working with right now. So, yeah, that may be something that I do later on, but not right now. Right now, what we're going to be focused on is one more thing that was brought up in the comments. So, now that I have moved my Yaba barrels down below, and they are embedded with the... Here we go. Oh, I need a little bit more. Whoops. My bad, I need to go grab some more iron. As I was saying, now that I have moved my Yaba barrels down below, they are embedded with terracotta and they stick out like a sore thumb. So the barrel painter and the barrel hammer were brought up in the comments, and I can make... Oh, do I want to create? No, I want to look like a block. So the barrel hammer allows me to change the look of the barrel just by right-clicking, and you see that I am changing the barrel look into a block look this way. So now they're actually flush with the wall, and yeah, they just have a better look to it, but they still only look like wood, which is where the barrel painter comes in. I can make it look like whatever I want. So terracotta, let's see... orange terracotta. So now the painter is going to make them look like orange terracotta so they blend in even better than that. So yeah, they were brought up. I knew about them, and because they were up there, there was no need to change the look of them. Now that they're down here, there is a need. So yeah, we're going to have the barrel painter and the barrel hammer change everything. Well, that is unfortunate. The standard terracotta is not something that I can paint the barrel with. Yeah, this is regular terracotta. This is brown terracotta. Oh no, so I can't have the barrels look like the standard terracotta. Yeah, the light gray terracotta isn't going to work either. Oh no. Well, I'm sure I'll figure something out, but yeah, I guess this showcases that not every block is going to be available inside the painter for you. So, yeah, that's just very unfortunate that I had to find out this way. So I am almost done hooking up the machines. I just need to hook in the heat. So here we go. All right, let's activate the solar tower once again. All right, this should be more than enough. Let's head back down after we cover this up. There we go. All right, let's head back down and see how much heat we're generating. I'm using the insulating pipes this time because, once again, another comment brought up a point that I was kind of ignoring. I was interchanging using the heat pipes and the insulated heat pipes. Like I said, the solar tower has the ability to melt down into slag, and I did not want that. The insulated heat pipe will keep a lot of heat from dissipating. If I use the regular pipes, then some of that heat does dissipate off, and I don't gain as much heat inside the tower as I normally would. So, yeah, that's the reason why I was using both of them. I'll interchange the insulated heat pipes and the regular heat pipes to try to keep the solar tower from overheating as much as possible, because yeah, it's definitely a mess. And because I have a direct hole, once this, if it does melt down into slag, then lava is going to fall down here, and who knows what it'll destroy. So I don't want that. I definitely want that heat dissipated. And actually, Magneticraft has an item for that, doesn't it? Oh yeah, it has a heat sink. Will the heat sink work on the pipes or the solar tower? I don't know. I want to test that out now. But anyway, so I am generating a whole bunch of heat. We're going to be making a bunch of steam later on. Once the steam gets made, it's going to come out of here and go into my 4 refineries. This refinery and this refinery are going to be for the heavy and light oil, respectively. And I'm going to have 2 refineries to make myself hot crude, because I want a lot of the gasoline I'm going to have to make. The diesel, the kerosene, and the gasoline that I'm going to make with the light oil. Yeah, I want a lot of it, so I want 2 refineries running through the hot crude at the same time. So I have set my small steam engine back up here because I need some way to power my machine controller for my boring pump jack. And so I have the boring pump jack being powered right now. It is producing crude oil. I'm going to let it fill up a little bit before sending it over here to our oil heater. And yeah, the oil heater is going to heat everything back up. And oh, did it just say I'm already at 1,000? Oof. Alright, well, I already have the steam in here, and the steam has been transported over. It's just waiting for that hot crude. And after that, we're going to set up what we're going to use to store every single one of these fluids. The reason why I'm using the small steam engine is because I expected the thermopile to be available to me, and I was going to set up a whole bunch of thermopiles down here. But unfortunately, the thermopile has been disabled in this pack, and it's not part of a stage or anything. It is just straight up disabled. I'm assuming it's because Immersive Engineering has a thermoelectric generator, and I'm going to be using that later on down the line, but I can't verify that right now because it is not part of the Industrial Engineering quest line, but like I said, it's just what I'm assuming, so we're using the small steam engine for now. But you know what? Let's enable this and get this train rolling. Alright, both refineries have filled up with heavy oil, light oil, and LPG, and now we need a place to store all of that. At the beginning of the episode, I said I did not want to use the portable tank from Thermal because that only holds 20 buckets. The mechanism tank holds 14 buckets. And then we have a Tinker's tank. And the Tinker's tank, this particular one, holds 500 buckets. So this is the way that we're going to be going. In order to assemble this particular Tinker tank, which is a 5x5x5, and it's surrounded by glass, you need the stuff that I have in my hotbar: 62 seared brick, 33 seared glass, 2 seared drain, and 1 Tinker tank controller. And yeah, it's assembled exactly like this. So the thing with the Tinker tank is, you see it's assembled right now, but I have a seared drain on the corner. A seared drain on the corner of a smeltery, and I have a smeltery behind that wall. But if I had a seared drain at the corner of that, then it wouldn't work. It has to be part of the main structure, and usually the corners don't count as the structure. That's not the case with the Tinker tank. The corners do count. Just let's put the controller right here and a brick right here. The controller cannot go in a corner, however the drains can, and it will operate just fine and recognize it as a valid tank. So just keep that in mind whenever you're assembling a Tinker tank, like I am. Now, if I had made a 4x4 Tinker tank, and yeah, if I had made a 4x4x4 that holds 256 buckets, and a 3x3x3 holds 108 buckets, so I figured, based on the space that I have available to me right now, a 5x5x5 made sense, and I'll find a way to have some sort of overflow protection, because I do make quite a bit of heavy oil, and because I make a lot of heavy oil, all of the outputs for heavy oil are going to accumulate much quicker. So yeah, I'm going to finish assembling the tanks, and I have enough resources to make 12 different 5x5x5 tanks. Yeah, once I assemble everything, I may just rearrange this room a little bit to make it flow a little better, because yeah, the outputs for my hot crude are going to go into a tank, and I'm going to have to output it over here to this refinery. Same with the light oil, and yeah, that's just a lot of piping. It's going to look like a chaotic mess, so I may rearrange this quite a bit. We'll see. Alright, down here can be a little bit choppy right now because I have a lot of things processing. I elected not to have the heavy oil be processed right now because the oil residue, fuel, and lubricant, as of right now, have no use for me. So I'm not really worried about it, and let's see, that's 2.5 buckets, 12.5 buckets, and 10 buckets. In the future, I may hook this stuff back up, but as it stands right now, I have way too many pipes running through here, and it's negatively affecting things, and that's Magneticraft. It's perfectly fine. But I do have these 3 tanks filling up right now with the heavy oil, the light oil. Oh, light oil's filling up right now too. Oh, that's because this refinery right here is full, and that's going to be the next thing I get into. But yeah, I didn't bother rerouting anything. I did reroute this steam pipe just because it was interfering with how I was going to output from the refinery. So I have it going under instead. But whatever, that's fine. Oh my word, this choppiness is going to... I have no idea what these algorithms are, but we're going to go vanilla. I need to restart my game to apply the changes. Dang it. All right, we're going to put up with this for right now because I have these 3 task screens and I want to complete the tasks ahead of me just so I can complete this quest. All right, so I just hooked up this task screen to accept gasoline and it has only accepted 9.6 buckets. That's perfectly fine. The next thing we're going to do is kerosene, of which there are 6.4 buckets. So I'm going to place this task screen and I'm going to set the task to kerosene. Input mode, yes. And we are going to hook in a pipe. The pipe is a little bit difficult to hook in. So let's build out with this cobblestone. Oh, and this cobblestone has been... this cobblestone was acting as my scaffolding because I completely forgot I don't have immersive engineering activated, so I have no form of scaffolding. So I built all of those pipes up. And I was like, oh, I have no way of actually building over. So yeah, that was the thing. But let's activate this. And there we see that the kerosene is filling up. The 6.4 buckets are in there. And the last thing we need to do is our diesel. And I have 16 buckets of that right now. The second that I accept this, everything is going to start auto outputting. And you see that even though this didn't connect to the task screen, it still filled up the fluid. Don't be fooled by that. So setting up this task right now is the diesel. Input only. And using my wrench, set it to output. Set it to output. There we go. All right, and now these 3 quests are going to complete momentarily. I just have to wait. Go into my research tab, industrial resource. There we go. You see on the task screen or in the quest book, it is showing a proper update, and these will be completed in no time. All right, so I have never done this with a fluid before, so this is nearing 20 buckets right now. So 20 buckets. It is now complete. Am I still wasting diesel by throwing it in there? Nope. All right, diesel is no longer flowing into the task screen. That is good to know. Let's get rid of that. There we go. We have one part of the quest complete. Going to wait for the others to complete as well. All right, here we are. Home stretch. Boom. Completed. Industrial discovery. Use. I have unlocked stage industrial. So welcome to the industrial stage. In this chapter, you will be progressing through immersive engineering and tech reborn. The quest in this chapter will help complete the next research. And what is the next research? All right, HOP graphite, 20 buckets of biodiesel, 8 chrome, and 8 tungsten steel. Oh boy. Well, that's going to be fun. I am ready to close out this episode. There's nothing more that I want to accomplish in this episode except for fixing this chaos because I can't stand this. It's an unmitigated disaster. I've made way too many pipes, and whenever I am entering this area for the first time in a while, so I frequently go up to the surface, and then as I'm coming back down and it's loading all of these pipes, it gets a little choppy. So yeah, I don't like that, and I'm going to fix that. I'm going to get rid of I'm going to get rid of 2 of the refineries, and only have the refinery dealing with the hot crude and the light oil going. Oh, and since I've unlocked this, can I use the, let's see, oil residue? All right, oil residue has no use, fuel has no use, lubricant has no use right now. Or at least so far as JEI is telling me. All right, I just wanted to make sure that I didn't need the heavy oil for anything. Oh, I'm going to need it for the cracking station to get propylene. Propylene's been unlocked for me. All right. And that's how I'm going to make my plastic. Good to know. But in any case, let me sort through all of this mess, and I'll be back with you to close out the episode after I've gotten it in a state that I actually like. And there we have it. I have eliminated 2 of the refineries because really they just weren't needed. And I have gained 47 pipes back. So I eliminated quite a bit of the things that were plaguing this area before. And hopefully when I get into immersive engineering piping, that will solve my problem. but we'll see in the future. What I did is I rotated these two refineries and moved them out 1 block, so it was easier to connect steam to them, and it was easier to connect their inputs to them. So yeah, that is one of the improvements I made. Another one I did is I rotated my pump jack so that the output for this fluid could very easily go into the oil heater. So yeah, that's really all I did, and it has made a monumental difference in this area. I haven't had one stutter at all. I've been moving up and down and away from the area, back into the area, just to make sure that there weren't any issues, and yeah, there were no issues. So I am ready to close out this episode. In between episodes, I'm going to take the outputs from this refinery, mainly the diesel, the kerosene, and the gasoline, and what we're going to do is we're just going to make more Tinker's tanks for them, put all of those fluids in there, and yeah, get ready for the next episode, which is immersive engineering. So I am Kelley Engineering. I hope that you did enjoy this episode, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.